Hello everyone, this is Ravian here. I'm just doing a little bit of a tutorial on how to do texture modding for Mario Superstar Baseball. Before you do start this video, I recommend watching the video linked in the description. This is Little Coke's texture modding for all GameCube games or for the Dolphin emulator. This works with Dolphin, that's what it's for. It also works with Rio, and it is for Mario Baseball, so I recommend watching his video first. This is going to be how I texture mod, but I do recommend you watch this one first before you come to mine. So we're going to start off with how to texture mod. I'm going to do a couple things today. We're going to work with Mario Stadium first. So before we start, I'm going to make a backup of my textures and I'll show you what to do. So to get to the textures area, you're going to go to your documents in your file explorer or Finder on Mac. You're going to go to users, your computer's name, documents, project Rio. If you can't find it, you go to config here, you go to paths, and here it is. So you can find wherever the dump path and load path, you can just copy that, and that's where you're gonna want to go. So once you're there, you're gonna want to find dump, and then textures, and then GYQE01. If it's not there, you're gonna make it. So for the focus of getting this folder, we're gonna go to graphics, and then enable texture dumping. What this is gonna do, it's gonna dump every single file we load from the game into that folder. Most of the images you'll see on screen are PNGs, and they're all there for editing. So we're gonna turn this on right now. What this is gonna do, it's gonna have it go over here. Here we are. So we're gonna hit exhibition game, and as you will see, I'll make this folder a little smaller. The textures are already getting dumped from the game into here. So I'll hit some buttons here. I'll move down here. You can see, sorry, that the folder's getting bigger, more textures are going in. So every single thing I load in here is gonna go into this folder. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to Mario Stadium, start game. So when I'm editing something, I don't usually put the dump texture on right when I start the game. I do it before I load into the map, just so I don't get excess textures I don't need or get confused, because most of texture modding is going to be confusing. You're going to look for textures you don't know. A good example is the Birdo example. I'll pull it up here on Finder. If I can open up another file explorer, my middle mouse button not working. So we'll open this up here. We'll go to downloads, Blue Birdo. These are all the textures for Birdo. This is a good example, as he put in his video. There's so many textures that go into this one person. So, you know, you got to do a lot of trial and error, but that's the fun part about it for me. So we're loaded in here. We're going to look for a texture we want to edit. So I'm going to scroll down here, because most of the bigger textures, like the main ones, like the grass, the dirt, the baselines, the text in the middle of the field, the walls, are going to be located at the bottom, as they're more bigger. They're going to be bigger sizes for texture. So we're going to scroll down a little bit more. And here we are. So we have the backdrop for both of them. We have the scoreboard, the clouds, the text for the stadium. If we scroll up a little bit, we have the grass and the dirt. We have the crowd, if you're into editing the crowd. The sun texture and how that works. There's a bunch of stuff here. The Nintendo logo. There's so much to edit here. So we're just gonna copy all the ones that we will think we'll need to work on, and you can always come back here to edit them in a later time. So I feel like this is all I really need for now. What I'm gonna do is I can delete these because these were something different I'm doing. I'm gonna go over to my Project Rio folder. I'm gonna go to load. This is what I do personally, and then I'm gonna make a folder. Call it tutorial. This is just for now. In this this folder, I'm going to place down the images. I'll go out and back in so they make it bigger. And these are the textures I'm going to go for. These are pretty basic, but these are the ones you're going to want to use that change up the whole field. So if you want to take a deeper look at the textures in the game, you're going to want to go to the Rio options, free look, enable. These are my settings for free look if you're interested. And then once you're in Rio, you can move around. You can show you the whole stadium. I was going a little bit crazy there, but this is it. So this darker texture back here that you see, let me move this out of the way. For these are going to be the warning track. Your infield texture is going to be down here. They're going to mix textures together. You'll notice that if you ever mod DK Jungle, that's a really good example of that. And then they have the grass. There's 2 different grass textures. I think I missed one in there. And then you have the wall, the backdrop, which is the skybox. A little bit of some 3D textures. This map's pretty well engineered for a GameCube game. I like it a lot. So that's how you get the textures. We're gonna go over how to edit them now. So we have our textures here in documents. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna disable texture dumping, because like Coke said in the other video, you don't want your game to lag when you open it up. That sucks. So what I'm gonna do is I use Photoshop for my stuff here. So I have an example of a file I already had in here. I'm just gonna take it out. I thought my mind different here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on this grass here. I'm gonna open it with Photoshop. And then you'll notice there's a couple of them here. You have like 4 different grass textures. They mix them together. So you see there's MIP 1, 2, 3. They're just different sizes for what the game renders. So if it's going to be in the camera screen, if it's going to be in the game, it's just going to mix those textures together. So what you could do is to edit these textures before I go any further. If you want to add these to the game, Cokes is more than welcome to take your I hope he is. He was talking to him about it, but I don't know about now. If you go to the graphics tab, there's some texture packs he made that are made for him. These are made like he made them himself, and you can use them for the game. If you want to do that, all the textures that you edit, let me rephrase that, all the textures that you edit need to be 100% made by you or licensed for profit, for free use, for profit. If you don't, you cannot use that texture for the game because you could be sued as that is not your work, and then the project could be eliminated. We all want this project to go through, so make sure that you are doing your job on keeping this game up. So that's how you would go at it. So what I'm going to do is that I'm not releasing this at all. I'm just going to recolor this because I'm not submitting this to Cokes. I'm using this for my own use. I'm going to go over here. I'm gonna go grab a color. So I want my grass to be a purple or a magenta. So I'm gonna do that. So move that, get a paint bucket, move it over, give it like a different type of filter. We have this like red type of grass now. This is considered Nintendo's texture, so I couldn't use it. I'm just editing their work. It's not my work, so I'm not gonna submit it at all. If I'm happy with it, I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it as a PNG. Okay, that is how the game recognizes the files. I save it as a small file, and then I'm also gonna save it as a Photoshop document file, just in case if I want to go back, I don't like how it looks, I want to change it, I'm more than welcome to do that. I'm gonna close out of this folder now. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open all of these up with Photoshop. I'm gonna move this over to my other monitor here on the side so I can just open them fast. But I'm gonna open these with Photoshop, and when I do that, I'm going to just copy this layer over because they're just duplicated layers. It's gonna work the same on here, and it's gonna work the same on all of them, so they'll all blend together, they'll all work the same pretty good. So we're gonna do that, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save them as PNGs. I'll save them as PNGs because I'm not gonna go back and edit them. I'm not gonna save them as Photoshop documents, but I encourage you, if you're gonna work on this in your free time, save them as Photoshop documents and keep them in a place you're gonna know where they're at. So now we have these 4 textures. I'm gonna do. I don't want to copy them. Another thing before we close is I'm gonna change the Mario Stadium text. I know people are really into that. It's pretty cool for tournaments. I do that all the time. So we have Mario Stadium here. What I'm gonna do is make a new layer, hide this. What I like to do is take black, put it at the back, make a new layer, get some text. The font for the game that I like that works the best is FOT-Rodin Pro EB. It's an Adobe font you can get. There's also some websites if you can find, maybe there's a website that has it for free, but it is an Adobe font. So once you're here, I'm gonna type in Ravian tutorial, make it white, transform, fill pop-up, make it small. Oh, I had Lorem Ipsum in there. So Ravian tutorial. Once I have that, oh, I want to make this go back. I want to get this layer. I'm going to lock this layer so I don't edit it. I'm going to make this bigger so it fits the whole area. You're going to want to make your text white because black text sometimes does not show up. So move that layer down, center it. I'm putting too much effort into this, but you could center it. Once you're done, save it as a PNG, and there we go. So that's going to save. Make sure it's saved. Then I'll get these 4 files here. I don't want to copy them. I just want to. I keep copying them. I'm going to Control C to copy. Go over to my textures file in my load, and then there should be this folder called GYQE01. The reason it's named that is because if you go to the properties of the game, or it's right here actually, the ID of the game is GYQE01, also in the info GYQE01. So that's that. Once you're there, make the folder, you're gonna paste them in there. This is gonna have the Project Rio emulator recognize that these textures are going to be going in your game. To make them load in your game, you want to go to the graphics tab, load custom textures and prefetch, and then make sure your texture pack's custom. The prefetch I would only use, if you have 16 gigabytes of RAM or higher. Just don't want any system lag because this is a competitive game and some people will take it. You don't want any lag in your game. You want to make sure that every input is correct. So there we go. We're going to close out of this, and we're going to double click Mario Baseball. You're going to get a little thing that says custom textures loaded. That's good. So once you're here, it's going to load up in the game. I'm going to hit Shift R because I was in the free look mode. And here we are. We're going to double hit, go load into a game really fast. I should have made a save state, but who cares? We're just here for fun, doing a little bit of tutorial. Here's Mario Stadium. Hit start, and we'll have this load in. And what it should do is it should have those textures changed. So we'll load into it, and there you go. You got custom textures now for your map. As you can see here, you got Ravian tutorial listed on the map. Get the pink grass. There was still a texture file I missed somewhere. That was probably like an 8x8 that does surround the field. That's why I said you gotta make sure you're getting all the textures done, but that's how you do fields. With Cokes, he had a good thing about Birdo for texture modding characters. There's so much to it. I have not done it yet because I don't have that patience for it. But if you do have that patience for it, go ahead and make some nice looking characters. Everything is moddable in the game. The bats, the plates, the foul lines, the dirt, the grass, characters, the stands, the people in the stands, everything. So go at it and have some fun. Submit your work to the texture modding chat and Discord. If you have any questions, I'll be answering the comments until I forget. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching my little tutorial. Take care. As I always say, adios and goodbye.